Hey guys, it's Timmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it is the 23rd, almost the 24th of November, 2024, and tonight was AEW Full Gear. Now, if I do ever get distracted, I got the post-show press conference media scrum thing on the screen this side, just to keep up with that in case something big happens there. Highly doubt it, but just in case. They did the little post-show where it was RJ City, Renee, and Daddy Magic. And they just ran some things over. They talked about the what's called Continental Classic coming up, which they're going to announce. Apparently, they're announcing the brackets tomorrow. And so, yeah, now the press conference has started, the press conference portion at least. Renee is there hosting. Tony is there, and Mercedes just came up. So if anything happens there, we'll see. Can I turn the closed captions on? No, because it's a live thing. There's no closed captions. Anyways, more people watching that than the MLW show right now live on YouTube for free. Anywho, as far as the show does go, this was a show of two different worlds, of two separate proportions. From the pre-show till probably match 6, Mone and Statlander. The show is not that good at all. Like, from the pre-show to Mone and Statlander, the biggest thing that got a reaction were the Costco guys and the Rizzler. The Rizzler coming out with Paul White. Got a bigger reaction than MJF and Roderick Strong, the private party tag match. Anna Jay and Deonna Purrazzo. So it's like, damn. But then, freaking Jay White and Hangman went out there and had a banger. Mone and Statlander went out there and had a amazing match. And it's like, oh, now this crowd's into things. Now this crowd is here. So, Tale of Two Cities. First half of the show, not that great. Didn't really get the crowd into it. Second half of the show, bing, boom, boom. They killed it. As far as the end of the show does go, what the fuck was all of that? So overbooked. So like, what the hell? So we've gotten, I'll run it down more in depth when we get to it. But it's like, I got to talk about this for a second. Because it's like, Death Riders, it's victorious. Moxley wins, of course. But all that bullshit. Orange says, I don't want anybody to come help me. And they come help him anyways. And then freaking afterwards, Moxley and like Yuta and whoever, they're like jaw jacking over the ropes. And then Hangman just lurking down to the ring with a steel chair in his hand, taking his sweet ass every loving time. And then gets in the ring. I think, what does he hit? Yuta with the chair. And then him and Mox just kind of stare at each other. And he does nothing. Him and Mox just stare at each other and nothing happens. Christian then comes down, gives Moxley a kill switch. Hangman hands him the little clipboard deal with the contract. He takes his time. He's like, am I going to sign it? Referee's like, what are we doing? Are you cashing it in? Sign the damn thing. He's like, well, maybe. Goes a little bit. All of a sudden, Jay White comes up and he just gets behind him. And Jay White's like, no, I'm going to kick you. I'm going to kick you. And Christian's just sitting there. Am I going to open this up and sign it? And then finally, so much stalling for some reason, it felt like. And it just came off very awkward. Then the worst part. Death Riders trying to go to their truck to get away, right? And this car just T-bones it. And the car's got all this spray paint on it and a skull and whatever. The commentary goes, who was that? Who do you think is driving? Oh my God, we don't know who's driving. Who's driving? I don't think a single person watching this show did not think, oh, Darby's driving that car. I don't think a single person didn't think Darby. The commentary's over here. We don't know who it is. We don't know that Darby gets out. His forehead's busted open. Also, Orange Cassidy bleeding so bad that at certain camera angles, looks like he took a chunk out of his forehead and head area, like right here, the hairline. Like a chunk. Anyways, got a lot to talk about. Goddamn Costco guys. The Rizzler. However you do it, I don't freaking know. Probably one of the bigger pops of the night. Like, I don't get it, but hey, all I know is this was very successful for AEW because they got people talking about the show because of these Costco guys. Whether they were talking about it, and I said this before, whether they were talking about it because, oh, this is interesting. I know who these guys are. How is this going to work out? Oh, I know who these guys are. This is stupid. Or who the hell are these guys? Why are they doing this? Go listen to Wrestling Observer Live with Brian Alvarez, Mike Sempervive, and Lance Storm from Friday. You can see it on the F4W online YouTube channel for free, unless you subscribe to them and you can get the audio, whatever. But still, go listen to these three older men who have no clue who the Costco guys are, and they're just like, hey, this seems successful because it's got people talking. This seems like it's a good idea for AEW to latch onto these guys. And apparently WWE is taking notice, and if Tony don't sign them to some sort of a deal to lock them down, WWE might go after the Costco guys. So, yeah, go listen to Lance Storm try to talk about the Costco guys, not knowing who they are, and just being like, well, this is what I've heard, and this is what so yeah. Anyways. Big Boss says, Tim, again, you lie. You said Tony Storm going to show up. No, I didn't. I never once said Tony Storm was going to show up. I fantasy booked maybe Tony Storm can show up. So you, Big Boss, can suck a dick because you don't know what fantasy booking is. This is the second time now. You come into my chat and said, you lied. You told me this was going to happen. No, I fantasy booked. Actually, the first time wasn't even my fantasy booking. I fantasy booked based off of what Brian Alvarez said of, hey, this could be a good idea. But this one was my fantasy book. I said, hey, I can see them doing this champagne celebration and Tony Storm make her big return. I never said, oh, for a fact, Tony Storm coming, she's going to be a Full Gear. No, did I? Well, go run the tape back. Go run the video back. And if I'm wrong, I'm lying, whatever. But I never said, oh, it's fact. Confirmed. Tony Storm will be at the Full Gear pay-per-view. No, a fantasy book saying this would be a good time to bring her back in. So you go suck a dick. SRS said the ending was great. Hey, maybe he liked it better than me. It's opinion-based. Everything is opinion-based. His opinion doesn't have to be the same as my opinion. I felt like it was all too overbooked and too stretched out. Like I felt like they go, oh, we got 8 minutes, but we only got 5 minutes of stuff. We need time. Stretch. And I felt like they stretched a little. It wasn't for me. Not everything is for everybody. Some people are going to like certain things more than other things. And so, yeah, whatever someone else likes doesn't mean everybody has to like. Whatever someone doesn't like doesn't mean everyone doesn't have to like it. Sometimes people agree. Sometimes people don't. Again, that's why what we do as far as reviewing shows is opinion-based. We're giving you our opinions on what we thought watching this show, what we thought of the results. And then if we have actual news, we sprinkle that in and tell you this is news. But for the most part, a review of a Raw, a Dynamite, a SmackDown, a pay-per-view, a PLE is opinion-based. This is what I thought. This is what I liked. This is what I didn't like. Not this is what I liked and you have to like it as well. This is what I hated and you have to hate it as well. That's not what this is. Everybody's got their own opinions. You want to give me your opinion? Donate a super chat in the live chat on YouTube, and we'll read your opinion live on the air. Bit donations. Subscribe on Twitch, just like Esports Gaming Rules did. He says, quote, not that 2024 for AEW, and with 2025 having the max deal, does the Shane McMahon and AEW thing going to be one of those what ifs in pro wrestling in 2024? Well, it's like people were predicting Shane McMahon. No one ever said Shane's coming in for sure. People said it's possible, but no one said it's happening for sure. So whether that does happen in 2025, I think there's still a month of shows left in 2024. But if it does happen, it does happen. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Plus, just because at one point something could have been on the books doesn't mean it can't fall through later. Seen that a lot of times, especially in the Vince McMahon era of wrestling where, oh, this is set for next week's Raw. By the time we get to next week's Raw, Vince says, I don't want to do that no more. We're changing the whole thing. So plans could change. But we'll see how it all does go. Again, guys, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating Twitch bits on the Twitter live feed or super chat over there on YouTube. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. Because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Big Boom AJ is currently at the press conference. Remember, you can help us out over on YouTube as well. hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we go live. That way you know when we post new videos. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, posting the community tab helps you guys know when we put a new article up on our website, pwunlimited.co. We're posting more news over there as well. Sometimes we even get news up there that doesn't make it to YouTube as far as a video does go. So that's another thing too. Trying to get more news on the website for you guys. Kind of hard to do as a one-man operation, trying to write articles and make the videos and stuff. So I'm doing the best I can. But remember, if you want to also help us out on YouTube, you can do so by subscribing as a channel member. Hit that join button to do so. Even if you do so, just the $1 tier. We greatly appreciate it. Heck, maybe if enough people subscribe, I can hire a full-time writer for the website to get even more news up there for you guys as well. But we need the funding. We need help. I'm not ashamed to say it. We need help. If you guys can help fund things, then we can add more things, more podcasts to the channel. A dedicated writer for the website. So, got ideas. We just need to fund it. And remember also, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat or a super sticker on YouTube. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting Stalker 2 that just came out this week. Maybe you're getting Farming Simulator 25, Lego Horizon Adventures, which is actually really fun. I played about an hour of that yesterday. Or you're claiming the free game Beholder. Again, use our code PWUNLIMITED for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Hell, maybe you're getting some of them new kicks in Fortnite. They got green Jordans and they got shark slippers. Use our code. Whether you're on Fortnite on your computer, your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Switch, or your mobile device. Finally, we're brought to you by Aura Frames. They got their Black Friday sale going on, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. As far as this show does go, I caught the end of Anna Jay versus Deonna Purrazzo, so I don't really have notes. All I have is like the last couple minutes of the match. Jay wanted the Queen Slayer, but Purrazzo countered almost into a Venus de Milo, but then Jay got the ropes. Both ladies got up. Jay hit a neck breaker through the ropes, but Taya Valkyrie pulled Jay outside and hit a spear right in front of the referee, and the ref just did nothing. Instead of disqualifying Purrazzo, he ejected Valkyrie. What? Literally, Taya hit Anna Jay with the spear, and the ref just goes, "Oh, you're out of here." No, motherfucker. That's a DQ. That's a D-freaking-Q. Anyways, commentary's like, judgment call. It's a referee's discretion. Referee's discretion, my ass. What is this? EC fucking W? Anyways, Purrazzo then wrenched in an arm breaker, and Jay quickly rolled her up. Flash pin. Seen a lot of that recently in AEW. A lot of just flash pins. Like, oh, I caught you. Not a big fan of all of that. Then, we've learned something for Wrestle Dynasty on the ROH side of things. Lexi Nair's backstage with Billy Starks, who we're told is one of the 4 women that will compete in a fatal 4-way match, with the winner then moving on to Wrestle Dynasty's 4-way match in the finals of the first ever International Women's Cup. Remember, they're going to do 4-way in ROH, a 4-way in AEW, a 4-way in CMLL, and a 4-way in Stardom. The winners of those 4-ways will then move on to another 4-way at the Wrestle Dynasty show, with the winner becoming the International Women's Cup winner for the first time, which is really cool. I like this plan, idea, whatever you want to call it. I like this little mini tournament thing. But we also learned that along with Billy Starks, ROH Women's Television Champion Red Velvet is involved, Layla Hirsch is involved, and the ROH Women's Champion, or should I say, the real face of Ring of Honor, Athena, is involved as well. Athena interrupts all of this and said, "I'm the final entrant," but wonders why she even has to beat all these other ladies, even though she's beat them before. She should just be granted a spot at Wrestle Dynasty, which I don't oppose. There is no woman in Ring of Honor more deserving of this spot than Athena. So if for some reason Athena doesn't win, if Billy Stark pins Layla Hirsch, if Red Velvet pins Billy Stark, and moves on. Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. It should be Athena. Not only, like I say all the time, not only is she the ROH Women's Champion, she's the frickin' face of Ring of Honor. This Ring of Honor show would be worthless without her. She keeps the whole thing running. She's the only reason I ever check any of it out. Sometimes I'll check it out, I'll go, oh, let me go to their Twitter to see the clips and see what happened. I'm really just looking for what did Athena do this time? Because Athena is great. She's awesome. Vince, you fucked the rooster when you let her go. So then we had our next match of the night. Also, they talked about the January 1st Dynamite, which is Fight for the Fallen, and they said it's also the first show on Max, the simulcast, a mother of all simulcasts. I'm like, okay, this better be good if you're hyping it up this big. So we had a Fatal 4-Way match. Speaking of Fatal 4-Way matches, it was Buddy Matthews, Dante Martin, Commander, and the Beast, Mortos. And I felt like they just told these guys, go out there and work as fast as you can, but make it look good. That's exactly what they did. Not a bad match, kind of sloppy here and there, but there was just four guys. Big move, boom, 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 big move. What it was. Fast, 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 big move, fast, 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 big move, fast. Like, hopefully my notes are good enough because they were just going a mile a minute. Loud ovation for Buddy Matthews. He was a star of this match. Holy shit. Did Newark, New Jersey love them some Buddy Matthews. Before and after the match. Billy teased multiple times. He and Mortos going at it, but Commander and Martin kept preventing it. Martin popped up Commander into a snap Hurricane Rana on Matthews, but Mortos did a test of strength with both Commander and Martin. After losing the battle, Commander and Martin took turns hitting assisted, launching crossbodies until everyone teased the superplex spots, only to get cut off. Martin flipped over Matthews, who responded with a drop kick to the outside, following Mortos into a twisting tornillo. Matthews then followed this up with a somersault dive, as this allowed Commander to do the rope walk dive onto the huge pile on the outside. Back inside the ring, Commander wanted his rope walk shooting star, and Matthews avoided it, but not Mortos, who sent him into the steps. Mortos hit a gnarly lung blower on Commander and a huge Samoan drop on Dante Martin. Mortos finally then went at it with no interruptions as he spiked. I wrote this weird. I said Mortos spiked Mortos. Mortos spiked somebody with a DDT. This was 5.5, almost 6 hours ago. I can't remember off my dome. Mortos spiked somebody with a DDT. I wrote it weird. Mortos spiked Mortos. Matthews then lawn darted Commander into Martin in the corner before flattening Commander with a jackhammer for a 2. Martin countered a Murphy's Law into a roll-up and got a 2 off of it, as he did the same to Commander until he popped up and hit Stereo Big Boots. Matthews then flew in with a Meteor on Martin, but Commander was there with a spinning DDT. Mortos charged in with a Crucifix Bomb, but Martin was there with a springboard lariat to reset things, and we got a big "This is awesome" chant. As we come down to the finish of the match, there's a slugfest by all four men until Mortos started firing off just big headbutts. Commander flew in with a springboard Poison Rana, which led to Martin hitting a frog splash, but as he went to make the cover, Matthews connected with a huge curb stomp to steal the victory and get the win. And then after, this crowd was losing their minds for Buddy Matthews. They were just like, Matthews. It was a sight to see. It really was. But was an even bigger sight to see was this damn QT Marshall big boom AJ match. Also private party, not the press conference. So, first off, Justin Roberts says, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our special guest commentator coming in at over 7 foot tall. And I'm like, Satnam Singh? Paul! Or actually he said, no more BS. And I go, oh, Paul White. And I'm like, oh, gotcha. Because when he said at over 7 foot tall, I'm like, no way they're putting goddamn Satnam Singh on commentary. Paul White comes out and he stops at the top of the ramp. Like he walks out on the stage and he points back. Now comes this damn Rizzler kid. Damn Rizzler. He comes out, crowd pops. They loved it. Freaking Paul White literally holds his hand down the ramp and walks him down and says, all right, kid, you go over that way and I'm going to go over this way. So they literally sit the Rizzler at the timekeeper's table. They give him a little hammer to ring the bell, ding, ding, ding. And that's all he really does. That, and every time the camera was on him, they're like, he's risen again. But then comes QT Marshall with security. Before, here comes the boom. That's what we do. Out comes Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. They're high-fiving people at ringside. Crowd's loving it. There's pyro and everything. And at the end, we hear like AJ's on the ropes, like doing like, yeah, like this last little hurrah to the crowd before the match starts. And we hear boom. Like a pyro was supposed to go off, but I didn't see anything. A dud, maybe. I don't know. But he got a boom. So the match starts. There are early takedowns from Marshall, who mocked AJ's dance. He mocked it a little bit. He was making fun, you know. AJ then returned the favor. Started getting "You Still Got It" chants from the crowd in Newark. Marshall hit one of his shoulder tackles. Ran into a nice looking power slam by AJ. Like AJ didn't look like some random celebrity social media guy coming in here. Hey, we're going to have you wrestle. Just try. No, he's been trained before. Granted, hasn't wrestled in 20 years, but he knew what he was doing. So that was good. I don't know. I would love to know if leading up to this, if he went to some school or found a ring and trained a little, or, you know, took some bumps and whatnot. Because, yeah, he didn't look great. He ain't looking like, you know, some of these guys on this roster. But he didn't look out of place, is what I will say. Big Boom AJ didn't look out of place. And that's what you see a lot in these celebrity matches. Now, granted, we've had some celebrity matches recently, like Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, that also didn't look out of place and never had wrestling training before. So, yeah. Anyways, they foolproofed this match and made it work very well. Kudos, QT Marshall. QT Marshall, very underrated. So, on Marshall, I read that one, but a high back body drop and a clothesline to the floor by AJ. Marshall's security was then fanning him before running the distraction. Marshall then tried to flip dive onto AJ on the outside, but he over-rotated, flew past AJ and landed on his security guys, who all had the Doom shirts. You know, AJ's boom, because it's boom or doom, so Marshall was doom. They played all up to the Costco guys stuff. Marshall then hit a kick through the ropes as AJ tried getting back in the ring. The snap DDT that followed. Camera then cut over, and the Rizzler's over here. And they're like, we want Rizzler. We want Rizzler. As Tony Schiavone said, that he should start grabbing his chin. And Excalibur goes, which one, Tony? Which one? I lost my mind on that. Because the Rizzler's over here going, right? And Tony Schiavone goes, maybe I should start grabbing my chin. Fucking Excalibur. Yes, I know I'm saying this again, but it was so funny. Which one? Which one, Tony? Fucking loved it. So funny. AJ went up top. Hit a diving clothesline. Didn't look great, but didn't look bad. Followed up with a running power slam. Got a 2 off of it. Marshall caught AJ off guard at one point with a handspring Pele kick, followed by a diamond cutter that got a close near fall. Again, another thing. Freaking QT got a great diamond cutter. Great cutter RKO deal. Underrated. His is so smooth. So smooth. He's got the hang time on it, and then he falls. All that. It's so good. Marshall then went over and jaw-jacked at the Rizzler. Paul White stood up, was like, leave the kid alone. Excalibur questioned if Marshall was about to assault a child. I'm like, oh, we're just saying it. We're just saying it. Marshall then went up top, but was cut off by AJ, who hit a superplex. Aaron Solo then hit the ring. Haven't seen this guy in a while. Ran distraction and ate a punch for his troubles, but it allowed Marshall to hit a pump kick. Solo took the ref as Big Justice got into the ring and dropped freaking QT with a spear. I guess you could call it that. More just a tackle, but yeah, dropped QT. AJ then grabbed him, hit him with the power boom, and pinned him, stacked him up and pinned him to pick up the victory. AJ and Big Justice are celebrating in the ring. They're like, Rizzler, Rizzler. So Paul White gets up. Hey, kid, we got to go this way. Helps him up, gets him in the ring, and they all celebrate. Big ovation. Crowd's loving it. It's worked. That should not be the last we see of them. I don't want to see Big Boom AJ, a regular wrestler, every week. No. I mean, maybe if he progresses and gets better. But we don't need that. But if they're a special attraction a couple of times a year, bring him in to do stuff, sure. Why not? This worked. This worked big time because they got a lot of eyeballs on this pre-show. This 0 hour. I'll say what. I'll tell you what. Let me look at something really fast. Hold on. We're going to look at something really fast. And we're not going to have the full numbers because YouTube usually takes about 24 hours to calculate all the live numbers. But how many views did this pre-show do compared to the last AEW pre-show is what I want to look at really fast before we get into the main card. So as far as this pre-show, right now it is sitting at 287,000 views, and know that it's going to go up because YouTube's still calculating all the live views and this and that. Sometimes it usually takes about 24 hours to get the exact number. Last year, the last one, the pre-show did 236,000 views. So up 40, 50, 60, 50,000 views. Up 50,000 views right now. That number could go as high, I want to say. If it's at 287 now, 300 maybe. And then as far as the all-out 0 hour, that only did 218,000. So this is up 70,000 from that. And the all-in one did 485,000. Holy shit. I don't even remember what was on that all-in, on that 0 hour to facilitate that. But this one did way better, or significantly better, I would say, than the Wrestle Dream and the all-out 0 hour. So it's positive. Plus, all the press that they got AJ and Justice to do, everybody talking about it. Hey, with the term no media, no attention, no press is bad press actually works for this. Because like I said earlier, whether it's people going, Costco guys, I love them, I'm going to watch them on AEW, or who the hell are these Costco guys? Can they even actually wrestle? I'm going to watch to see, I'm intrigued. Or, I don't like them, I know who they are, I'll check it out. Like, people were talking about it and getting other people to know about it. Whether they're talking good or talking bad, oh, this is stupid, this is dumb, I don't know who it is, or I love these guys. It worked. New TNT champion Danny Garcia at the press conference now. Let's move to the main card. Give me 1 second. Move some stuff around. Uh-oh, wrong button. Okay, as we move to the main card, esports gaming rules with bit donation. We'll read that first. Which will be the better NJPW Tokyo Dome 2025 show? Wrestle Kingdom 19 or Wrestle Dynasty? And did you hear about Lyra Valkyria coming home to OTT thanks to WWE? I heard the Lyra thing, just didn't have time to report on it. And as far as Tokyo Dome or Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dream, that's actually a really good question. I was thinking about this. I actually was talking to a friend about this 2 days ago, maybe. Because we were thinking of video ideas. And he's like, do one about the upcoming Tokyo Dome shows. Do like an in-depth preview, previewing both together and then saying which one you think is better after going over both cards. So we might do that coming up. We got to let them both flush out and know what the cards are. So end of December kind of video. But as far as of right now, I would say Wrestle Dynasty is probably the better show because some of the stuff that we have for Wrestle Kingdom, it's like, oh, you really got to be like invested and in the weeds of New Japan to care about some of these matches. It's like, oh, you got to be the hardest of hardcore New Japan fans to care about some of these matches because they're with just the most random guys. Like that main event. Zack Sabre Jr. versus freaking, was it Umino? I think it's Shooter. Is it Shooter? Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Shota Umino in the main event of the Tokyo Dome for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Like, what? I know they've been wanting to push Shota Umino. But it's like, to me, that's not a Tokyo Dome main event. It is not. If you wanted to push a younger guy in that spot, should have been Yota Tsuji. Really should have been Yota Tsuji you want to push a younger guy, he's going for the global championship on this show. So it's like, I hope he wins that. I do hope Yota Tsuji beats David Finlay and wins that global championship. He's had too many opportunities that they took from him as far as like, oh, you're going to have a great match with Naito. You're going to go and have a great match with so-and-so, but you're not winning. So it's like, oh, he needs to win this one. Yota Tsuji needs to win that global title. But as of right now, with what we know for both cards so far, Wrestle Dynasty is the better of the two on paper. So we're backstage. This is right before the main card. The pre-show's just wrapping up. We're backstage, and Mercedes is with Camille. Camille's in a sling and everything, and Mercedes starts yelling at her, you embarrassed me. You're horrible. You're this, you're that. You know what? I don't even want you to come out for my match. Watch from the back. And that played into nothing. Nothing. I thought I was going to play into something later. Nope. Not that I saw. Not that I saw. Here you go. You guys want some ASMR? Hopefully that wasn't too loud. I know some people like that stuff, so it's like, hey, let's do it. So as we're wrapping up the pre-show, the 0 hour, we start having all the teams for the tag team title fatal 4-way match coming out. Kings of the Black Throne had a special band playing. We had the Outrunners come out, the Acclaimed come out, and this is kind of weird. They're really pushing that Acclaimed breakup. So they come out. Max does his rap, and Bones is ready for the mic, and Caster just flings it at him, like just boing, and it shoots past Bones, bounces in the ring, hits the other side, and Bones is like, what was that for? Bones does his Newark, New Jersey. Everybody loves the Acclaimed, right? He scissors daddy ass, scissor me daddy ass. Then he goes, and they do a little thing where he gets on the ropes in the turnbuckle, does the yeah, and then Max usually gets next to him, and they kind of like dab it up or whatever, and Max just ignored him. And he just looks at Max like, okay, never mind then. So they're really teasing this dissension, I guess, with the Acclaimed. So all 4 teams are eventually out there. And I don't know if they got a name change, but Justin Roberts is like announcing everybody. He goes, and finally, your AEW World Tag Team Champions, Zay and Quinn, Private Party. And I'm like, all he did was just call him Zay and Quinn, not Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn. No, it's just Zay and Quinn, Private Party. Again, I can make fun of Justin Roberts all day with his inflections and his ups and ups and ups and ups. Anywho, excuse me. This match, you know, I said the other 4-way was just a fast, big move, fast, big move. This match actually felt a little sloppy through a lot of it. I did not like this match at all. At all. I thought this was just, at times you didn't know who was legal. Is it tornado tag? You got one outrunner in the ring, and then another outrunner just jumps in and starts doing moves, and the ref's like looking over here, then he's looking over here, then he's looking up and down and back and forth because he don't know what to look at. He don't know what the fuck's going on. I think Daddy Ass got involved at one point. Like, come on. What are we doing? I couldn't keep up with this, so what I got is what I got for notes. So, where was I? Black and Quinn kicked things off in the ring, trading a series of takedowns until Black had a seat. Both of them popped up and nearly hit the end, but Quinn dodged. Flying tag by Bowens as Zay joined in, and they did an arm drag until a famous are connected. Caster was playing to the crowd and then missed the tag, allowing the Outrunners to make the quick tags and keep Zay grounded. Floyd and King were left in the ring for a slugfest with Floyd hulking up to the delight of the crowd. Again, missed opportunity with these Outrunners not winning. Black then joined his partner, and it was Bowens who was planted with a superplex double stop combo until, well, Black hit a diving moonsault on the pile to the floor. Back inside the ring, Quinn ate a pop-up knee lift as Zay tried flying in, but ate a right hand in midair as Black and King forced everyone to regroup. That happened successfully as it was now like a 6-on-1 attack kind of thing on King until Bowens hit a scissor me timbers. Bowens then teased a handshake scissors with Floyd, but Caster broke things up before it could happen, which got boos from the crowd. Everyone then started taking turns hitting big high impact moves until Private Party were left standing tall, and they hit Stereo 450s on the Outrunners for 2. Floyd and Magnum then battled back and did their dueling Predator elbow drop as they wanted total recall, but King and Black cut them both off. King then flattened Bowens with the black hole slam and a corner cannonball with Black. They tried it again, but Caster swept the leg, allowing the Outrunners to successfully hit total recall on King for a 2. As we get towards the finish of the match, Caster flew off the top with a drop kick on Black as "Fuck you, Caster" chants started flying around in the crowd. Like, holy shit, they don't like Matt Caster. Max Caster is not liked here. Bowens then just kind of stared at his partner. His daddy Ash tried giving them some advice. Caster then laid down and Bowens covered his partner for a 2. Like, would that even count? No. What the fuck kind of stupid shit is that? Excalibur even said it. I don't think that's allowed. But the fucking ref counted. What are we fucking doing here? My camera froze. What are we doing here? Like, ref, if these AEW refs just look stupider and stupider, dumber and dumber every fucking show. Like, Caster lays down, Bowens goes for the pin. The ref should go, "Hey, you can't do that." No, this fucker comes down. 1, 2. Fuck. So dumb. What are we doing? Like, you're gonna actually count? Rick Knox, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Anyways, flying tag by Caster on Bowens, who was trying for a crucifix pin on Zay as he wanted to go for the mic drop. Bowens hit the arrival, but Floyd interrupted with an elbow, allowing Private Party to hit the gin juice and pin Max Caster to retain the tag team titles. Yeah, this was a big ass cluster. At times you would have thought, tornado tag. Why are these fuckers tagging? Oh, it's not tornado tag. Then why are 2 guys from this team here, 1 guy from this team here, 2 guys from this team here, other guys fighting outside? What? So much confusion. The Orange Cassidy backstage being interviewed by Alexi Nair. Cassidy said, "Tonight, AEW sends a message to the back to the Death Riders. Private Party proved a point when they won the tag team titles, and they all need AEW. Tonight, I will show that AEW doesn't need Jon Moxley. He takes everything the AEW title represents and puts it in his... I will take everything AEW represents in the AEW World Championship from his briefcase and put it in my backpack." Okay, cool. No one believes you. No one believed you. No one thought it was going to happen. Everyone thought you were a fucking geek. And you were. You were. Axel says the New Day done that before. Probably. Then we had MJF versus Roderick Strong. I still don't know why this match even freaking happened. And then it's like, Adam Cole didn't get involved. He came out afterwards, after MJF freaking basically broke Roddy's arm. Like, what the fuck was this match? I didn't care. Nobody cared. Crowd was barely into it at all. At all. So, where was I? MJF came out, grabbed a microphone and said, "The people like Strong because he's just like them, white trash," and asked if it offended the dumpster fire of the world, New Jersey. He then said, "Well, I've been away from this dog shit company shooting movies. Strong's mother's been busy shooting his dad." And I go, hold the phone. Hold on. Should you really have one of your top stars shitting on your company this bad, calling it a dog shit company, and basically stating that he doesn't even want to be here? He's got better things to do? It's not the first time they've had MJF do this, and it didn't go over well. Fans were like, oh, if he's going to say this about the company, then all the fans that are shitting on him might be right. So, yeah. Not a big fan of anybody in a company, but especially when it's one of your top guys, calling the company dog shit and basically saying, I don't even want to be here. Basically making it sound like I got better things to do. I got more high profile things to do, but I'm contractually obligated. Strong then went after MJF, tried to chop against the post. MJF dodged, and Strong smacked it, messed up his hand, and played it up throughout the match. MJF trapped Strong's fingers between the metal of the buckle before hitting a powerbomb on the edge of the apron. MJF trash talked Strong back inside, but ate some chops, which turned MJF's chest a beet red pretty quickly. Strong answered with a half Nelson backbreaker, and then he got some time to recover as they were both down. There's a jumping knee in the corner that connected, followed by an angle slam to give Strong a near fall. MJF tried with a heat seeker, but he was sent flying to the outside, where Strong met him with a backbreaker on the railing. Back inside the ring, MJF got a big boot in the corner, but opted to mock Adam Cole. Teased like he was going to go for the Panama Sunrise, do the whole little boom, and get ready to jump, and then Roddy cut him off. Counter with backbreaker. Both men then slowly got to their feet. This time MJF was striking first, hitting a hammerlock spike DDT. MJF tried trash talking a little bit more, but then ate a series of chops and a drop kick for his troubles. Strong then shot the double leg and sank in a Texas cloverleaf. MJF got to the ropes to break the hold, but as they both got up, Strong fired off and into Heartache. But a foot on the rope broke the count. MJF bailed to the outside. Till back inside, MJF countered another end to Heartache into a roll-up for a 2. Strong was up first and hit a torture rack backbreaker, fireman's carry gutbuster, and a sick kick before going for another end of Heartache. But MJF turned it into a brainbuster for a double down. As we come to the finish of the match, Strong draped an arm over MJF for a 2, but then MJF spun it into a salt of the earth, and very quickly, Roderick Strong tapped out. So there we go. Roddy loses the match, as everybody expected. But I didn't expect MJF to continue to beat his ass afterwards like he did. After the match, MJF brought a chair into the ring, put it on the arm of Roderick Strong, and Pillmanized the arm. This then led to Adam Cole running down, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven as well, checking on Roddy, and MJF bailed through the crowd. Kyle O'Reilly then came down, checking on Roddy. Eventually he got up, shoved Adam Cole, and said, "This is your fault. You were too late." O'Reilly then helped Strong to the back, as Taven and Bennett left with Adam. So, as we saw on Wednesday, basically, Kyle O'Reilly told Adam Cole, "You're a great friend most of the time, and you always have friends around you that will do for you. But at times, doing for you means putting themselves in a bad spot." And so that's what this was. Strong was trying to do for Adam Cole, I guess. Help Adam Cole get revenge on MJF. And in the process, may have got his arm broke. Like, the match wasn't bad, but it wasn't really that good either. I'll say it, MJF kind of felt like he was phoning it in, just doing the MJF shtick. Not like some of the matches we've seen in the past where he's just great. No, this was a, I got to do this match. What we're going to do, just get it over with kind of thing. Also, this is interesting. Kyle Fletcher at the press conference. Don also sitting at the table. But Don's got the international title in front of him, and Takeshita sitting behind the table with Renee. Okay. So then this is when things took a turn for the good. Mercedes Mone defending the TBS championship against Chris Statlander. I'm going to say right now, I feel like Mercedes has had dog shit matches in AEW. All of them. Even the Britt Baker match. But this may be one of her top 3 best matches ever. Right up there with that Hell in a Cell and that street fight with Charlotte. The Hell in a Cell with Bayley and the street fight with Charlotte. I felt like are her best matches. Maybe you can put the Bianca WrestleMania match up here as well. But I feel like this was maybe even better than that. But yeah. Before we get into this, we got a couple more bit donations from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, Mone going to keep the TBS Championship and NJPW Strong Women's Championship and bring them to the Tokyo Dome because the Tokyo Dome fans still, quote, don't care about Mone after what she did to Kairi in her NJPW debut. I mean, I don't see her losing those titles before January 4th and 5th, so yeah, probably. We don't know if she's going to have a defense. Probably more likely Wrestle Dynasty. She defends one of those titles, if not do like a double title match thing. And then Esports Gaming Rule says, with Bobby Lashley's win in AEW, does that motivate MVP? Does that motivate MVP match in GCW Bloodsport? MVP already has a match set for Bloodsport. Him and Josh Barnett are main eventing the next Bloodsport in the main event. So, yeah, you're going to have MVP and Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. They just came up to the press conference. But yes, MVP, it's already been announced. MVP versus Josh Barnett is the main event of the next Bloodsport. Also looks like old Joe Cronin and JD going at it in the live chat over there on the AEW scrum. Fucking, these guys are like 40-something years old. They're always over here arguing like childs. Do you want to say it? Joe, though, great guy. Talked with and interacted with him a couple times. Great guy. JD, he just likes to bitch and found a niche. That's all it is. He's a character. I don't know if that's actually who he is, but I don't know. People in wrestling don't like JD from New York. Just going to say it. As far as Mercedes and Chris Statlander does go, this was great on multiple different things. Mercedes looked like the Mercedes of old. She looked like Sasha Banks in this match for the most part. But Chris Statlander's selling of the knee throughout this match, once they did the injury spot, was phenomenal. Statlander used her power early to get an advantage, turning a vertical suplex into a press slam. The rolling senton into a standing moonsault that gets an early near fall as Mone took a powder. Statlander wanted a suplex to the floor, but Mone went to the eyes and hit a wide step up Hurricane Rana off the apron to the floor. Holy crap. She hits this Hurricane Rana. Frickin' Statlander takes the bump, flips, boom, crashes on the floor. I'm like, ooh, that looked like it hurt. Mercedes then hit a Meteora off the apron as Mone demanded a count out, but Statlander got back in before the count. Baseball slide sent Statlander into the announce table as Mone chucked her into the steps and hit another Meteora for a 2. No. Yeah. Another Meteora threw her in the ring, tried to go for the pin, got a 2. A third Meteora back inside, got a near fall, leaving Mone furious and screaming at the referee. Starts throwing hissy fits. Starts throwing all these temper tantrums. Who think you are, Christian? An oddly effective counter. Mone turned Statlander's powerbomb attempt into a neckbreaker variation and got a 2 off of it. A sunset flip in the corner led to a 4th double knee by Mone to get another 2 count. Statlander then threw Mone aside and tried to go for a tornado DDT. Mone then went for another Meteor, like the 5th one. This time it didn't work. Statlander caught her and dropped her in the corner. Commentary talked about how it was bound to happen eventually when you go to the well one too many times. Snap power slam from Statlander, who had a series of corner charges until a chaos theory folded up Mone for a 2. Mone then got her foot on the ropes to break the count. Statlander tried pulling Mone up, but the momentum saw Mone leap up, turn into a crucifix bomb. A statement maker was blocked, thank God. And Statlander powered out, but Mone hit a backbreaker for a near fall. Mone then hit another Meteora, most devastating one of the match. Statlander caught a charging Mone and hit her with a discus lariat as she followed with a twisting fireman's carry for a close 2 of her own. Statlander wanted to go for the Saturday Night Fever, but Mone swung through into a spike DDT and made a meltdown after only getting a 2. Like she had a hissy fit, Christian style. 3 amigos for Mone was attempted. When she go to the top to go for the frog splash, it didn't actually happen because, well, Statlander leapt up into the clutches, or she leapt off into the clutches of Statlander, who hit an F5 for a close 2. Statlander went for a 450, but crashed and burned, landing right on her knee, and Mone sunk in on it. Mone kept targeting the knee, injuring the knee, and even hit a frog splash on the knee. Multiple backstabbers led to a Mone maker, which looked really good. But again, only got a 2 off of it. Both ladies then scurried for pin attempts, leaving Statlander to power up. She tried to go for the Saturday Night Fever with that reverse like throw up kind of deal. I don't even know how to explain it. It's cool looking. And Mercedes, she's in like the Tombstone Saturday Night Fever kind of position deal. And Mercedes gets out of it the best way she can. Just starts beating at the leg. She even bites it, I think. She eventually swung Statlander in the ropes here, rolled her up, and got the victory. Mercedes does retain the TBS championship. No Camille at all. Like, Camille doesn't try to come out. They don't show Camille in the back watching. Nothing. No. Nada. So we had a rematch from Wrestle Dream. Switchblade Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. And I go, okay, so what is this going to be? Hangman gets the win back? No, not at all. I was shocked when Switchblade actually won this match. Page wasted no time sending White over the top to the outside and targeting his ankle. Basically, this was the match of both men got fucked up legs. So it's 2 men and each got 1 good leg. After posting the ankle, Page zoned in on him in the ring. A slow and methodical attack from Page until White turned the tide and went after Page's previously hurt leg as well. That momentum was only brief, though, until Page responded with a follow-away slam into the corner as dueling chants for both men started ringing out. Let's go Switchblade let's go Hangman. No, hold on. I think it was let's go Switchblade Adam Page. Let's go Switchblade Adam Page. Something like that. After flipping off the crowd, though, Page hit another follow-away slam off the second rope, but got a near fall. Page took too long, which allowed White to post Page's bad leg multiple times before going up in the corner for a big-time superplex. Both slowly got up, took turns hitting each other, going after the leg, this and that, and eventually they both collapsed into a double down. There's a forearm exchange, turned into just big lariat shots, which echoed throughout the Prudential Center. White managed to get the best of it for the flatliner and then a suplex. Page stumbled up, got a desperation pop-up powerbomb, only to reset things, then go for the pin. Page wanted the Deadeye, though, on the apron. But White escaped into a brutal-looking half and half, folding Page right on his neck, which followed with another one on the floor towards the ramp. And instead of taking the count-out victory, told referee Paul Turner, don't count. Come with me. The delay allowed Page to recover enough to chuck White into the barricade after White's ankle gave out on a suplex attempt. White was entrapped in an ankle lock. I've missed a spot. Actually, I didn't write this down. So first, Hangman takes the ankle, puts it between the barricades, and smashes the barricade in the ankle. Then he puts him in the ankle lock. And so they're on the ramp, and Hangman's got him in the ankle lock, but Page or White is crawling towards the ring. The ref's counting 5, and he's crawling a little more. 6, he's crawling a little more. Eventually, they make it in by 9. Page ends up breaking the hold, and they both jump in the ring. Page then measured White with the buckshot, but flipped into a flatliner attempt instead, only to counter into another ankle lock. White then rolled through, sent Page to the apron, and got a dragon screw through the ropes. The big-time Uranagi from White, they got a 2, as he wanted the Blade Runner. But Page again went for the ankle lock, which White countered this time to an inverted figure 4. Page got the ropes, crawled to the corner, but White was there for another dragon screw. A brief hesitation followed up. There was some brief hesitation here, followed up with White allowing Page to hit 2 Deadeyes, but White would kick out. Page then skinned the cat, tried the buckshot. White nearly countered into a Blade Runner, and Page again, went for that damn ankle lock. But White rolled through this time, got up, and caught Page with the Blade Runner, and picked up the victory. This is a great little sequence here. Ankle lock, roll through, into the Blade Runner, bada boom, you're done. White smiled, and commentary told us that Jay White has now beat Hangman 5 times, with Hangman only winning once between the two. So, yeah. Basically, it's a Hangman can't beat Jay White. Great match. I loved it. Post-match, White celebrated up the ramp, but when his back was turned, Page came up and laid him out. Christopher Daniels and officials ran out, told him to stop. Page then dropped Daniels as well. So it's like, okay, he attacked an official. What is that going to mean? Probably nothing. Both White and Daniels were then helped to the back as Page stormed off. Okay. A lot of these post matches really don't make sense or mean anything. So we had another really, really good match. Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay with Don Callis on commentary. So, Will Ospreay did not come out in his normal green gear, green colors on the screens. Nope. Black and white, Punisher-themed gear. He was ready to punish Kyle Fletcher. No flashy entrance, no none of that. All business. Fletcher came down wearing a crown that looked too small for his head and literally pushed the back of his head in. It looked weird. So the bell rang and the two wasted no time going full speed at one another, with Fletcher getting the first takedown. Ospreay sent Fletcher to the outside, wanted to go for a dive, but Fletcher sidestepped and Ospreay went into the railing. Both traded suplex attempts on the steps until Ospreay leapt over the steps, then launched off of them with a Hurricane Rana. Back inside, Fletcher got the better of the two. Fletcher fought back, spiked Ospreay with the DDT, ripped away at the kinesio tape. He was trying to go for a brainbuster on the apron, which Ospreay countered. But Fletcher again wrenched the knee before hitting a brainbuster on the floor. Instead, that was nasty. A nasty brainbuster. Fletcher kept Ospreay grounded. Don Callis on commentary talked about not caring at all that Ospreay lost feeling in his arm. And he's going to go after that arm. There was a flying kick to the neck that led to a draping DDT in the ropes for a near fall. Dragon Sleeper applied, but Ospreay escaped. Tried a head scissors, a DDT, and then Fletcher countered into a Michinoku driver. Fletcher did miss a corner charge. Ospreay fired off the haluva kick and followed this up with the sky twister press to the floor. So impressive, though. Even Don Callis was like, oh, that was great looking. You got to give it up. He's like, you got to give it up. Will Ospreay is a great wrestler. They're like, you do have an eye for great talent. Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, now Kyle Fletcher. The Pip Cheerio that connected back inside as Ospreay hit some Kawada kicks until Fletcher started a chop battle. Fletcher's chest started bleeding from the chop battle, so he pump faked a chop and attempted and opted for a slap instead. This only pissed Ospreay off, who hit a cheeky Nando's kick and a spinning torture rack bomb for a 2. Hidden blade dodge, but Ospreay countered into a hook kick, only to try an Oscutter, which Fletcher countered into a neck breaker in midair. It was a massive sit-out powerbomb. They got a super close near fall as the crowd started going crazy. Fletcher with the corner charge boot, but Ospreay fought back with a stun dog millionaire. They tried a spot where Ospreay was cut off from skinning the cat and was going into a tombstone on the outside, but they stumbled briefly, but ultimately hit the move. Excuse me. Fletcher then beat the count back in the ring in the 9, but as he rolled in, Ospreay met him with a springboard dropkick and a perfect leap of faith for a 2. I gotta say, I hate the spot where they're like, 9! Yeah, and they jump right back in all of a sudden. At least with Kyle Fletcher, he did it convincingly where at like 7, he starts stirring. At 8, he's pulling himself up with the apron. At 9, he's got that bottom rope. And then before 10, he's in the ring. At least it's not like 9, 9.5. Oh, I got to jump back in. No, by 7, he was already stirring around, moving around, trying to get up. So Kyle Fletcher knows what he's fucking doing. Kyle Fletcher is going to be a huge star for this company. I see Kyle Fletcher potentially as a future AEW World Champion. Where was I? Back in 9, Ospreay met him with a springboard drop kick and a perfect leap of faith for a 2. Shoulder pad removed as Ospreay wanted a hidden blade, but Fletcher ducked. They traded a crazy series of counters until a standing Spanish fly was hit for Ospreay. Hidden blade charge, but Fletcher turned it inside out with a lariat. Ospreay still had some fight left in him. Fired off a desperation hidden blade for a reset. Ospreay again wanted another leap of faith, but was crotched. Ultimately slid out of a brainbuster attempt with a Styles clash as he rolled Fletcher over, annihilated him with a hidden blade. Fletcher kicked out. Ospreay then violently punched at the back of the head while on the apron before looking down at the steps. He then wanted a Stormbreaker off the apron, but Fletcher floated over into a tombstone, jumped off the goddamn apron, and tombstoned Will Ospreay on the steps. You're damn right, the crowd chanted, holy shit. Fletcher then told Ospreay, refused to win via countout. He wanted to show that he's the better man and actually beat him inside the ring. As they get inside the ring, Fletcher hits a charging leg lariat and a reverse tombstone. I think they called it the Grimstone, maybe. The move was pretty scary looking, like that Tiger Driver. So, Fletcher went for next, but Ospreay rolled into a pin attempt. Got a 2. Ospreay then threw a hidden blade, but nothing was behind it. He had really no power and kind of more collapse than anything, so Fletcher no-sold it because there was no power to it. He barely even grazed him. Larry then folded up Will Ospreay. A haluva kick led to a brain buster and a top rope on the top rope to give Fletcher the victory. So there we go. Kyle Fletcher defeats Will Ospreay. I thought Will was going to win this one. I really did. I really thought this was going to be an Ospreay victory. Post-match, Fletcher stood tall over a fallen Ospreay as Mark Davis ran down to check on him. Fletcher said they deserve each other as far as Mark and Will do go. Callis then had the crown for Fletcher. Commentary said, in order to become a king, you have to kill a king. And that's what Fletcher was doing. I liked all of this. This is all really, really good. Then we got a weird segment, kinda-ish. The Champagne Championship Celebration. So Mina Shirakawa's hosting it. She welcomes everybody, and she says, we're going to celebrate Mariah May, and she brings out Mariah May. Nigel's losing his mind, horny as shit. And they're like, she brings the boom, but she also brings the boo. And then he gets cut off. Shivani's like, hey, you can't say that. So, Mariah May comes out with a nasty looking black eye. Nasty. I don't know if this is from like Rampage last night. I didn't see Rampage. But then, so they talk for a minute. They say that no one can touch Mariah May. She's the best in the division. She's the best woman in AEW. They toast. And then Marina goes, and now we celebrate like this. And they start dancing. And then Mina walks away for a second, kind of. And that leaves her in front of Mariah, not looking. Mariah then grabs a wine bottle or champagne bottle. And she's like, ready to hit her. Ready to hit her. And then Mina turns around. What are you doing? Ducks it. Kicks it out of Mariah's hand. Double leg attacks. Shoots the double leg. They go flying off the stage through a table. Mina Shirakawa stands up. Freaking, Mariah May hit the back of her head on the concrete, it looked like. Because, like, they hit the table, started to go through the table, and slid. Mina gets up. She got blood coming out of her mouth. She's going, like she broke her jaw or something. I don't even know. Commentary's like, oh, my God, I think she lost a tooth. Again, she's bleeding from the mouth. She then grabs Mariah, kisses Mariah on the forehead with all of her blood, and kind of nibbles at her before people grab her, security and referees, and pull her away. What the fuck was this? Now, I've seen some people go, did Mina just turn heel? No. Mariah's the heel. Mina's the baby face. And it's more of Mina saw what Mariah was going to do, and she got a little crazy. She got a little crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the hell this was. But I guess it's going to lead to Mariah May versus Mina Shirakawa? As we move forward, the TNT Championship was on the line. Jack Perry defending against Daniel Garcia. Crowd was hired for this one. I'll just say that. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Crowd was tired after those last 3 matches. Daddy Magic Matt Menard was on commentary. There's a video package. It was like a voicemail from Garcia's mom saying, hey, you're a great friend. You always do for others, but now it's time to do for you. Cool. His mom was also there, I guess, in attendance. So the 2 men are in the ring. And it's like, oh, did they let Jack go? Because last we saw Jack Perry, he was tied up in that chair. They threw water in his face. So did they let him go? Did he get out? Someone come find him? We don't even know. And they tried to ask Daddy Magic, and he's like, I'd rather not talk about it. Anyways. Oh, where did my notes even start here? Oh, there's a little cat and mouse early on. Garcia got the better of it and slammed Perry into the railing repeatedly before booting Perry into the front row. The brief delay of Garcia breaking the count allowed Perry to hit a draping DDT off the apron to the floor and then throw him into the barricade, where he hit another draping DDT. Perry then kept grounded, Garcia that is, until a Saito suplex gave Garcia some time to recover and start a slugfest. Perry got a drop toe hold into a snare trap as the crowd was very quiet. Again, benefit of the doubt will say they were tired, but maybe they just didn't like the match because the match was just okay. At this point, nothing had really happened yet anyways. Garcia was dragged to the apron where Perry hit a back suplex on the edge of the ring before trying to goat Menard into attacking him. Basically, he had Garcia down. He walked over to Matt Menard and kind of like shoved him and was like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Matt Menard starts to get into his face, and Tony Schiavone's like, don't do it. Don't do it, Matt. Because if Matt would have attacked Jack, DQ for Garcia, Jack Perry wins and retains. So Jack Perry not dumb. He knows that Matt Menard will do anything for Danny, even stand up for him if he has to. And that's what he was trying to do. Goad him into attacking, hitting him, shoving him, anything, putting his hands on him. And Jack wins by DQ. Because Jack's one of them dastardly heels. I don't care. I'll win however I can to retain my title. Perry took Garcia over to the timekeeper's area in a powerbomb position and then just powerbombed him right over that little barricade through a table. Brutal. Like, he slammed him down as hard as he could. Basically like, this table ain't going to break your fall because you're going to fall right through it so fast that you're not even going to feel the table. He then grabbed the trash can and dumped trash on him. He then grabbed the top of the commentary table and threw that on him. Was just trying to hold him down, jumped in the ring and said, ref count! Eventually, I think it was Doc Samson went over and was like pulling the trash off of Daniel Garcia. And he was like, Daniel, are you okay? And he got the signal or whatever, I guess. I don't know. But then Daddy Magic jumps up and he's like, Danny, you got to get up. Get up. The referee's at 5. Referee's at this. And so he starts to stumble and stir. And he does a good job of this one, too. He kind of gets up, jumps over the barricade or fumbles over the barricade, crawls over to the ring. The ref's at 9. He gets up 9.5, in at 10. Breaks the count. Garcia started to slowly fire up. Perry was just toying with them. The lariat took Perry's head off, though, because Perry kind of playing a little too much. Like, I already got you beat. I could screw around with you. But nope. And Garcia fired back up. A house of fire, some may say. Garcia ran wild with some charges. Butterfly suplex, stack in the corner. Both slugged it out while up in the corner until Perry lawn darted Garcia into the corner buckle and hit a sit-out slam for a 2. Perry then grabbed the TNT title, teased like he was going to use it, but then tossed it down and dared Garcia. You want to use it? Use it. Do it. Do it. Basically, he's like, man, this guy ain't going to quit. I got to get DQ'd to win. Or you got to get DQ'd. There's got to be a DQ so I win and retain the title. Or I lose and still retain the title. For some reason, Garcia actually debated using the belt and losing. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, I can't do this. Here, ref, get rid of this. Go distraction, then let Perry hit a low blow because the ref wasn't looking, and then a charging knee. But Garcia kicked out of the pin attempt. Perry wanted to go for another knee, but Garcia collapsed. Perry tried a third time, and Garcia got a jackknife pin for a 2. Garcia blocked a super kick, trapped the foot, and hit a nasty-looking pile driver for a 2. As it comes towards the end of the match, both then started throwing slaps until Garcia started chopping the hell out of Perry repeatedly. And Perry just kind of smiled at him like, is that the best you got? Garcia then starched him with another pile driver. Garcia sank in a dragon tamer, wrenched back at Perry, failed to get to the ropes, and ultimately had to tap out. The dragon tamer led to the submission victory. Huge pop for Daniel Garcia winning the TNT title. Post-match, Garcia held up the belt and an AEW flag will march into the back. There we go. Only title change of the night, Daniel Garcia and new TNT champion. Looks like this press conference is winding down. It's just Tony now. Actually, it's been for a little while. Then we had the international title on the line. Takeshita Takeshita versus Ricochet. Now, I'm just going to say this match didn't need to happen. Not saying it was a bad match or anything, but the match kind of was just there. Another match where the crowd was tired. Why couldn't this match be like a Dynamite main event or something? Because there was nothing special about the match. It was more of a Takeshita showcase with Ricochet getting a couple. It's exactly my prediction of what this match was going to be. What I say in my preview. They're using Ricochet just like WWE did. Hey, Ricochet, we're going to put you in big prominent matches because we know you're going to outperform, but you're not going to win. You're here to make the other guy look good. Get the other guy a big win, per se. So this guy went from WWE to AEW to be in the exact same spot. But I guess he gets to do different things in his matches, and that's what is better, maybe? I don't know. Anywho. Commentary put over how both Takeshita and Ricochet will be involved in the at Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th. They both do have matches. After a filling out process, Ricochet popped off an early springboard crossbody. Takeshita blocked a tiger feint kick in the ropes and booted Ricochet's head off to the outside. Takeshita connected with a brutal back suplex on the barricade. As back inside, that's the body part that he zoned in on, Ricochet's back. Takeshita hit a picture-perfect spinning side suplex and got a 2 off of it. As he worked over the small of the back of Ricochet, Ricochet wanted to do a springboard move. Back gave out, and Takeshita press slammed him clear across the ring. Right as Takeshita was able to rear back and go for a forearm, Ricochet connected on a rolling drop kick and a handspring back elbow, kind of reset things. Ricochet then sent Takeshita from corner to corner until this time successfully hitting the handspring clothesline or springboard clothesline. There's a low bridge and an enziguri that sent Takeshita to the outside as Ricochet connected on a Sasuke special before a 450 and got a 2. Callis on left commentary tried to fire up Takeshita, and the crowd started chanting, F Don Callis, fuck Don Callis. You know, Don was loving all of that. Don loves the heat. Ricochet then missed an axe kick, hit a thrust kick, and then had a springboard, a handspring kind of move that was countered into a Blue Thunder Bomb. Takeshita got a 2 off of it. Takeshita hit everything out of the Blue Thunder Bomb. Like this was a wrap him around, boom. He got the boom. Ricochet then blocked the power drive knee, but not the wind up forearm as Takeshita kept throwing everything behind his shots. Ricochet then floated over a German suplex, tried a Cazadora, and Takeshita rolled through into a German suplex. Takeshita missed a lariat as Ricochet hit one of his own for a double down. As we come towards the end of the match here, Takeshita crotched Ricochet in the corner and hit a reverse release avalanche German suplex before a lariat turned Ricochet inside out for a 2. There's a power drive knee that was hit. Perfect. Flush. Ricochet kicked out. Takeshita again went after the back. Before going up top, a Ricochet sprung up with a Hurricane Rana followed by a Poison Rana. Again up top, Ricochet hit the shooting star press for a close 2. Ricochet signaled for the Spirit Gun, missed it, tried the Vertigo, but Takeshita countered into a Bastard Driver and got the 2. Takeshita then wanted his knee, but Ricochet dodged into a Brainbuster and I don't know what this other move is. I think they called it a Benadriller on commentary. Got a close near fall. Ricochet then once more went up top. It took a little too long, allowing Takeshita to once again crotch him, hit the pump knee, and then an Avalanche Falcon Arrow for the victory. So Takeshita retains the AEW International Championship. Not a bad match. Kind of just felt like a really good Dynamite main event. We didn't need it here on this 12-match card. Crowd was ready here for 5 hours. As it was well past 5 hours once this Bobby Lashley Swerve Strickland match started. And boy, if I told you this was a dominating win by Bobby, you'd probably believe me. Swerve got a couple big moves in, like the Swerve Stomp on the table. Other than that, it was like a... Ooh. Esports Gaming Rules says, what do you think of the settlement between WBD and the NBA and inside the NBA coming to... I don't really know because I haven't followed that much. So all I know is it sucks for TNT because it is going to hurt TNT going forward, because cable networks are now going to be like, oh, we're paying you X amount of money to be on DirecTV, to be on Comcast, to be on Dish Network. You don't have the NBA. We're not going to pay you the same amount. We're going to pay you less now. So that is a bad thing. They don't have the NBA anymore after this season, which means that they're not going to be as desirable. And so cable networks or cable providers may end up saying, we're going to pay you less for your network. And Esports Gaming Rule says, watching the F1 Las Vegas Grand Prix on ESPN Plus, also on regular ESPN, but it's nothing like NASCAR in Vegas. I can't wait for WWE WrestleMania to take over Vegas. WWE need to do something with the Sphere Las Vegas. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not doing the Sphere for WrestleMania weekend. The Sphere is going to cost too much money. Dana White even said that. The running the Sphere for the UFC, they made no money off of it. It was a negative, but it was at least something they could say they've done. I don't think WWE runs the Sphere. Not anytime soon. Not after the UFC just did it. As far as F1 and NASCAR does go, F1's okay, but the issue with F1, and we're not going to stay on this too long, is after about 5 laps, F1 just becomes follow the leader. And everyone runs the same line right behind one another. Someone's going to pull out, get a big lead. No one can catch them, this and that. Maybe you'll get one pass every 50 laps. NASCAR, there's always something going on at all times. F1, I don't feel like there's much strategy either. It's like everybody pits on the same lap or within 2 laps of each other. Yes, that happens in NASCAR, but there's more strategy to it because you go to an F1 pit stop, it's gas and 4 tires, and we can do it in 4 seconds. NASCAR, there's always strategy. Do we do 2 tires? Do we do a full tank of gas? Do we do 1 can of gas? Do we only get, 4 tires? This and that. When do we pit? Do we want to wait? This and that. You never see pit strategy in F1 races. That's why I think NASCAR is better. The racing is better, and the strategy is better. Now, I doubt NASCAR ever does the street course in Vegas. That would be great. They did the Chicago one. They're going to do one in Mexico City. So the Vegas one for NASCAR would be great. But I don't know if NASCAR wants to run at midnight. Because if you don't know, the reason the F1 race is so late, because the city of Las Vegas basically said, during the day, you can't have any of our major intersections blocked. And for the race to go, you got to block off some major intersections. So that's why they have to do everything at night. But I do have it recording, and I will put it on in the background while I'm doing work stuff tonight and maybe and whatnot. But yeah, I believe it's on regular ESPN as well. Should be, because the practice was. Whoop, what did I just do? The practice and the qualifying were. I'll tell you right now. Because I don't think you need ESPN Plus to watch it. Yeah, no, it's on regular ESPN. It's on regular ESPN right now. And let's see who's leading. Who's leading right now? It's probably either Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen. Let me pull it up. But next match we do have, it's Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. And like I said, it was a really good match. Bobby got a dominating win. Swerve got a couple big moves in, but it was more of a, hey, we got this new Bobby Lashley to show you how badass he is. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, Verstappen's in 5th and Hamilton's in 6th. Okay, didn't expect that. Did not expect that. So Jim Ross joined commentary for this match and the main event. They told us during the last match, hey, Jim Ross is going to come out for the next 2 matches, just so you guys know. So Jim Ross joined us for the last 2 matches, as he said that he danced like Prince Nana when he woke up this morning and felt great. Okay, Jim. Lashley showed off his power very early on, to the point where he was picking Strickland up and just slamming him back down in pin attempts, and then spinning him all around and picking him up, and just toying with him. 1-arm vertical suplex connects. Nana got the crowd behind Swerve, though, who fired back with some chops. But one throat chop from Lashley put him right back in control. Running power slam got another 2 for Lashley, who slowed the match down with a chin lock, which Strickland's facial expressions were selling everything so perfectly. The power of Lashley was really devastating him. Lashley missed a corner charge, as Strickland seemed to go for a swerve stop, but Benjamin ran distraction long enough for Lashley to recover and launch Strickland with a tackle. Back in the ring, Strickland started mounting the comeback, but Benjamin tripped him and got caught by the ref, so he was ejected. On the other side, Strickland then tried a slingshot crossbody, but Lashley caught and slammed Strickland on the edge of the apron before chucking him into the barricade. Lashley positioned the steps, tried a power slam onto them, but Strickland sent him crashing into the post and the steps repeatedly. Started gouging the eyes of Lashley. Strickland then wanted a DDT on the apron, but it looked like Lashley missed it completely and took a bad, awkward fall to the floor. Like, they tried to go over the DDT, they were off center, and they just crashed and burned. Also, the press conference is over. I don't know anything that happened. I just know who was there. Excuse me. The both men were fine because they got right up and started doing stuff. Lashley kind of stumbled around for a second, stumbled over the Spanish announce table. Strickland then kind of had him over it, so he flew in, up and over the steps, off the steps, swerve stomp on the table, through the table, and they go back into the ring. Swerve goes and hits a house call. But when he goes to the top, he goes for the swerve stomp, hits it, goes to pin Lashley, and Lashley kicks out. Lashley then went outside as Strickland got right in MVP's face. MVP teased hitting him with a cane. That delay allowed Lashley to hit a release overhead belly to belly and a wild spear through the barricade. Back in the ring, Lashley measured him up, turned Strickland inside out with another spear, and pinned him. No, I'm wrong. Hit him with another spear. Looked like he was going to pin him, but then said, nah, I'm going to grab him, put him in the hurt lock. They actually called the hurt lock. Referee checks the arm falls. He said, you're out. So, Swerve passes out. Bobby Lashley gets the win. Match is over. Prince Nana's outside. Benjamin comes back. MVP and Benjamin throw Prince Nana into the ring. Lashley applies the hurt lock to Prince Nana as he makes Swerve watch. And then they eventually just leave. So yeah, that's cool. It was whatever. Good victory for Bobby. That's all I'll say. Nothing special about this match. Just a good victory for Bobby Lashley. Esports Gaming Rules says Mexico going to be a rapid for NASCAR. Oh yeah. No, you know what you're going to see? You're going to see a lot of Daniel Suarez fans. You're going to see all of, what do they call them? Daniel's amigos. There'll be a lot of 99 t-shirts and hats in that crowd. For sure. So we have our main event, Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. But before we talk about that, I'll tell you about the sponsor of this video, Aura Frames. An Aura digital picture frame is the perfect gift to share legendary photos of your traditions with people you love. You can preload the years and years of memories to make the perfect gift. This is not the digital picture frame you remember from the early 2000s. There's no USB or SD card and no hassle. Celebrate and commemorate all your best holiday memories. And we mean all of them, because Aura Frame has unlimited storage. One of the many reasons it's the best digital picture frame, according to Wirecutter, The Strategist, and Wired. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $45 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code PWU at checkout. That's AURAFrames.com, promo code PWU, or our link in the description below. The deal is exclusive to our listeners and viewers, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. As far as this main event does go, I was going to say it. I did not like one bit of it. I thought it sucked. I thought it was boring. Crowd was not into most of it, and then they kind of got into it towards the end. So Death Riders pull up to the arena in a truck. At this point, I'm just like, okay, what are we doing? Got to do a special entrance, cool, whatever. They come out, this, that, and so forth. Orange Cassidy comes down. Marina then unlocks herself from the briefcase because she's always got it. If you haven't noticed, she's always handcuffed to this briefcase, so they can't get away. No one could steal it unless they steal her, and you ain't stealing Marina Shafir. She gives the referee the briefcase. Never takes the belt out. Bryce Renberg, well, no. I think he opens it and shows us the belt, but I don't think they ever actually pulled it out or anything. So it's like, oh, we know the belt's in there. And immediately, Orange runs it at Mox. Boom, orange punch. Mox is like stumbling. Kind of gets up. Boom, second orange punch. He's stumbling again. Third orange punch. Stumbling again. Falls to the outside. Tope from Orange Cassidy. They spill over the commentary table where Cassidy lit up Moxley with punches and bunches before biting at his head. Moxley desperately went for the eyes and crotched Cassidy on the barricade before things spilled into the crowd. Moxley then dragged Cassidy back into the ring, or back to ringside, daring him to fight back before stomping Cassidy in the head and into the steps. At this point, he's bleeding, busted open. You see just a big blood spot from his head on the steps when he gets kicked into him. And I'm like, oh. A, did not expect Cassidy to be the first one to bleed, and B, I didn't expect Cassidy to be the only one to bleed. Moxley connects with the paradigm shift on the steps as he distracted the ref long enough for Marina to get a little kick into the head of Cassidy as well. Finally, they go back into the ring. Moxley's just on him like a rabid dog, biting at the bloody forehead, and then hits a Gotch-style pile driver where I swear to God, Orange's head hit the fucking mat. Like he stiffed him big time. Goes for the pin. Orange kicks out, so Moxley starts punching on him. Moxley then placed Cassidy on the Spanish announce table, but chucked him into the steps. While his hands were covered in Orange Cassidy's blood, Moxley high-fived Shafir, and her reaction was priceless. It's like, yeah! Cassidy started firing up. The crowd slowly started to get behind him as he refused to back down until Moxley punted him in the ribs and hit a release suplex. Kimura applied, but Cassidy got to the ropes, rolled to the apron. Moxley charged at Cassidy, and Cassidy went crashing into the barricade as Moxley flipped off the crowd. Moxley dared Cassidy fight back. He tried, but again, Moxley just hit him hard, and Cassidy fell down like a mannequin. While in the corner, Moxley viciously raked the back of Orange Cassidy, and I'm like, damn. Okay, looked cool because as he's raking the back with Cassidy's blood on his fingers, he's also like getting the blood on Orange Cassidy's back. Cassidy, though, did return the favor as he leapt for a DDT off the top, and Moxley just popped right up and hit a forearm. Cassidy bit at the fingers, but fell trapped in a guillotine. Back up in the corner, Moxley wanted an avalanche pile driver, but Cassidy fought free and hit a diving DDT. There's a spinning DDT that connected as well, as Cassidy wanted another orange punch, but Moxley met him with a cutter. Both started paintbrushing the hell out of one another, which turned into a forearm battle as Cassidy was on spaghetti legs, but kept daring Moxley, hit me again, putting his hands in his pockets, and then tried to fire back with the little kicks. I said, are you fucking dumb? Are you stupid? Cassidy ducked a lariat shot and fired off 2 orange punches, but followed up with a Cazador pin for a 2. Cassidy then kipped up for a 3rd orange punch and a beach break for a near fall, which was actually kind of great callback to how Cassidy beat Moxley last year at Full Gear. Claudio and Pac then emerged from the crowd and they looked like they were going to get into the ring, but then Tomohiro Ishii, Kyle O'Reilly, and Rocky Romero came out to make the save. And I'm like, hey, I thought this fucker told you guys not to come out. With the referee's attention turned, Marina Shafir got in the ring with the briefcase, was about to strike, when all of a sudden, Willow came out. And this did not look that great because of Marina. Marina's over here and she's just holding the briefcase like this. I'm like, you gonna hit orange with it? You gonna hit orange with it? Oh, hey, here comes Willow. And she's still standing like this. Just standing like this. Finally, Willow comes at her. Right as Willow goes to shoot the legs, she then drops the briefcase, falls back. I'm like, oh, Lord, that didn't look good. Damn, can't stop coughing. So Willow returns. Willow had been out with a concussion. Good to see Willow back. Physical. As you can see Willow come back and not do anything and go, oh, she could still be out with a concussion, but just on screen, no, she got physical, which is good. Cassidy then grabs the briefcase. Ref still not paying attention. He waffles Moxley with it. Referee turns around. 1-2. Moxley kicks out. Moxley's all stumbling around here, grabbing the ref, which allowed Wheeler Yuta to then fly in with the Busaku knee and lay out Orange Cassidy. This led to a Death Rider for Moxley and a victory. There we go. John Moxley wins. This match did nothing for me. I couldn't care any less about this dang pay-per-view main event. Yeah, I couldn't care less about this match. Post-match, Wheeler Yuta grabs a bottle of some sort of cleaner. Kind of looks like Windex, but I don't know. They say they use it to clean the ringside area. Moxley then held Cassidy up on his knees, and Yuta dumped the bottle in his face. Then, Hangman comes strolling out. And he's like selling the bad leg, so he's not moving fast, but at the same time, he's taking his time like, fuck this, I don't even care. He's got a chair in hand. Moxley and Yuta are now like jaw-jacking someone over the ropes, and boom! Yuta gets taken down. Hit with a chair. All of a sudden, Moxley turns around. Moxley and Hangman are looking at each other, and Moxley's like, what's up? Kind of like, just looking at him like, what's up? All of a sudden, Christian runs down. Hangman kind of moves out of the way. He grabs Moxley, and he hits him with a kill switch. Lays him out. Page then picks up the contract. And the commentary's sitting here going, is he going to cash it in? Is he going to cash it in? Well, he can't just cash it in. He needs a pen to sign it. He's got to sign it first. Why isn't this contract just always signed? And then you go, here, it's signed already, cash in. So you just cash it in anytime. Not, well, I need a pen. Oh, now I got to sign it in the moment. And this and that and blah, blah, blah. Too fucking overbooked. So he's taking his time. The ref's looking at him like, what are we doing here? Are we cashing in or are we not? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And then finally, he's like, I think I'm going to cash it in. But I need to open it. And then all of a sudden, Jay White comes down out of nowhere. And he gets in the ring, and he's just standing there like this. Like Shawn Michaels, I'm ready for my super kick. I'm going to lean back. And then he takes out Christian. Christian drops the not briefcase, but the clipboard with the contract. And so Switchblade runs him off. He hits, where was I? Switchblade Jay White then ran down, prevented Cage from doing it. Hits a Blade Runner. Pac and Claudio attack White, who was left laughing as they all kind of scurried away. He fought them all off. Was Jay White now going to be the next one to go after Mox? White then grabbed a chair and stormed to the back as the Death Riders were running off. They tried to get to their truck when a car T-bones the truck. Commentary, oh my God, what was that? Somebody T-boned the truck. Who is it? Who's driving the car? And I'm like, that'd be the dumbest SOB. But I know that it's Darby. I don't think a single person didn't think it was Darby. So they're like, oh, we got to find another car. So they commandeer some SUV. They steal it from whoever. They all jump in. They drive off. They're like, they stole a car. Oh my God, they stole someone's car. All of a sudden, the camera goes around the truck. You see all his broken pieces of parts from the front of the car. Then Darby comes out bleeding from the head. He jumps on the hood of the car, starts hitting the windshield with a skateboard. And he's just yelling like a crazy son of a gun. All of a sudden, a bunch of officials and stuff run down. They try to get Darby. Hey, Darby, stop. What are you doing? Oh, my God. Don't do. You're going to hurt yourself. And then the show goes off the air. What the heck was this post-match? What the heck was this post-match? I don't even know. I don't even know what the heck we saw. Hangman taking his time coming down to the ring. Christian then saying, I'm going to cash in. Never cashes in because he took his time. Then Jay White stopping Christian. Then kind of fighting off the Death Rider. So is he going to go after Moxley next? I don't even goddamn know. I don't know what the hell we saw. And then Darby's like, I'm not dead yet. I'll bust your car. Mess up your truck. So, yeah. The finish of this pay-per-view, the last 5 minutes, 8 minutes or so. Big old cluster. Big old cluster. Overall, that was a pretty good pay-per-view. First half of the pay-per-view, kind of just there. But the second half really kicked in and made it worth the watch. I don't think it was worth the 5 hours. Actually, I think after all was said and done, it was like 5.5 hours. I don't think we need a pay-per-view that long. You could have cut, let's see. Say, don't worry about the pre-show, I guess. But you could have cut Takeshita and Ricochet. Could have been on the pay-per-view. Or could have been a Takeshita and Ricochet could have been a Dynamite main event. And the 4-way for the tag titles could have been a Collision main event. Oh, and you didn't need MJF and Roddy. That match just wasn't needed at all. There's 3 matches you could cut off this pay-per-view. That brings it down to 9 with the pre-show. Cut a pre-show match. Why we need that random 4-way? So there you go. 8 matches. 2 pre-show matches. 6 main card matches. In, out, bada bing, bada boom. How you doing? But with that, you know what I thought of the show. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of the show as we get the poll going here. On Twitch, what did you think of Full Gear? Also, remember, if you follow us on Facebook, we now have a broadcast channel on our Facebook page. And there, we do some interactive stuff, and there's a poll there. Liked it. It right. I didn't get. If you are watching live on Twitch, the poll is now up for you guys to vote in as we go check the other ones. So let's get these refreshed really quickly. View poll. So it doesn't tell me percentages on the poll, I don't think. Yeah, it's not showing me percentages on the poll, but I can just see what is winning the poll on Facebook. As far as that Facebook poll does go, I liked it as winning. It was all right as in second, and nobody voted that they disliked the show. As far as the Threads poll does go, 75% liked the show, 25% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 40% didn't like this show. 36% liked the show, and 23% thought it was just all right. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, 59% liked the show, 20% thought it was, 59% liked the show, 21% didn't like the show, and 20% thought it was just all right. Some of the comments say it was a great pay-per-view. Another one says it was a disaster. One says, congratulations, Daniel Garcia. This one says, they had better pay-per-views. That's true. And then this one says, and new. As far as the live poll does go, 60% liked it. 31% thought it was just all right. And 9% didn't like it. Everybody that voted on Twitch thought it was just all right. So with that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Also, they're doing some sort of like control center thing. They're going to tell us the brackets for the Continental Classic. They said tomorrow night. So keep an eye out for that as we're going to learn some new things and probably all 12 men in the Continental Classic tomorrow. With that, guys, have a great night. Have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.